We live. We live, chat. All right, we are live. Damn. All right, man. We a little early. We a little early. What's up, Rachel? What's up, OG?
No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it. I fit the description, I'm the definition. I'm what they prescribe like she seen a physician. She wanna ride cause she seen how we getting it. Big ol' booty, she my passenger princess. She like to argue, she don't like to listen. She bougie and toxic, she fine and she picky. Pretty and sedity, she get recognition. Matching nails and toes, man, she always French tip 'em. Parking lot pimping when we in the city. Don't ask about twine, she twerk on the engine. She eat the dick in the car cause it's tinted. She pay me attention like she get commission. Pimpin' CEO, so I give her the business. She ride on the dick like she doing some fitness. She make the dick disappear like she magician. She like to swallow, man, she love when I finish. Having motion, man, you know I got plenty. Bitches choosing cause they know that I'm winning. See some thousands, now I'm after some millions. So all my houses come with chandelier ceilings. Pillow talking, man, that shit just ain't in me. Keep it pimpin', I can't do no pretending. Jealous hearted, man, you know I ain't with it. Cuffin' hoes, I can't do no commit. No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it.
Oh, man. Double tap that screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? What we doing tonight, chat? What's up, Big Niche? What's up, Rachel? What's up, OG, man? What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all locked or what, man? Y'all know what time it is. We in intro mode. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. How we're moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. How we're moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. All right, man. Double tap that screen, shut alive out, chat. I know we a little early, but it's all right, man. It's all right. We gonna get it together, man. Double tap that screen, shut alive out, man. Where's the tag? Hold on. Where is it at? There you go. There you go.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? They saying forever war Trump. We got HEGSETH securing the bag. We got NOLAN Wells botched autopsy, leaving more questions than answers. We're going to cover it all tonight, man. Be sure to double tap that screen. I got to let the Discord know that we live. Hold on. Let me let the Discord know that we live. Let me let these folks know we live. All right, bet. So this is what we're gonna get into today, chat. We got Nolan Wells. We got Officer Tatum did a 2-part interview with Nolan Wells' best friend, as so he says. We got a Caleb Hammer clip with his girl. She says she's dating in Austin, and it's just a wild story, man. Showing you how these girls are thinking nowadays. Also, we got a couple relationship clips. Candace Owens did a episode today. We might have time for that. I doubt it. But we got West Virginia GOP House member Elliot Pritt has been charged with enticing a minor girl through Roblox and Snapchat. Damn, man. GOP House member Elliot Pratt charged with enticing a minor through Roblox and Snapchat, man. Check them kids' phones. El Mayo has been sentenced to life, and I believe he has to forfeit like $15 billion, which is crazy. In other news, OpenAI, they released one of their latest models today in an closed environment. It says OpenAI's AI broke out of a locked test environment. It got onto the internet and hacked into Hugging Face's server. It did this entirely on its own. No human told it to. OpenAI was testing how good its new AI models are at hacking. They put the AI on a locked computer with no internet access and gave it a cybersecurity challenge to solve. The AI couldn't solve it the normal way, so it started looking for a way out. It found a software bug that no one knew about and used the bug to escape the locked computer and get onto the internet. Once online, the AI figured out that Hugging Face, a platform where AI companies store their models and data, might have the answers to its test. It found stolen login details and discovered another unknown bug in Hugging Face's software. It combined both to break into their servers and grab the test answers. It did all of this to cheat on a test. Hugging Face security team caught it and shut it down. Both companies are now working together on the investigation. Nobody programmed the AI to do any of this. The AI picked its own targets, chained together multiple attack methods, and pulled it off across 2 different companies' systems without anyone telling it to do so. Bernie Sanders is calling for Congress to regulate AI and regulate AI immediately. Corey says he has black fatigue. Well, Corey, let me help you solve that black fatigue by getting you the fuck up out of here. Matter of fact, we just gonna put you in timeout so we can see how fatigued you really are, man. You can watch this shit. We in intro mode still. All right, Chad, we also got a forever war. We're going to talk about this forever war. Gas prices are going back up. They're labeling this a global energy crisis. How do y'all feel about this global energy crisis? HEGSETH also testified before Senate, and he did secure the bag. We also have Ben Crump announcing Nolan Wells' preliminary investigation. I believe it's over the autopsy. He broke down the autopsy today. They said Nolan Wells' body didn't have a throat. It didn't have his organs. So a lot of the things that would be needed to conduct that full autopsy weren't able to be conducted because it was an independent autopsy. After the second one, they removed his throat and all of his organs. Model recruiter Daniel Siad, who introduced young women to Jeffrey Epstein, has been found dead at his home in France. Another one bites the dust that's connected to Epstein. If y'all remember that interview that he had, he was looking real jittery and nervous answering the questions. We watched it. It's like he knew it was coming, man. They got his ass up out of here, allegedly. Trump says the U.S. will impose a 100% tariff on imported generic prescriptions beginning in August 2028. It's gonna rise to 200% in August 2029. The U.S. will impose a 100% tariff on imported generic prescriptions, and it's gonna rise to 200% in August 2029. Chat, do y'all agree or disagree with that decision by Trump to put tariffs 100 and 200% on generic prescriptions, man? Made outside of the country. let's get into this episode, man. This is about this is a woman, and she's saying the guy that she's dealing with has his baby mama living at home. So I wanted to ask you guys, chat, could you deal with the person while they were still living with their the other parent of the child? Could you deal with it? Maybe they're transitioning out of the relationship. Maybe she needs a few months to get her shit together, or he needs a month or two to get his shit together. Maybe they fell on hard times. Could y'all do it, chat, or would that draw the line with you?
For this video, y'all, let's hear it. Shout out to tonight's conversation and the panda.
Back to my child. Be living out the car.
Who allowed his ex-baby mama to move in. My name is Erica. Okay, I was dating a guy who allowed his ex-baby mama to move in with him because she lost her job in her apartment. He says that nothing is going on with them sexually, and she is only there because they have a daughter together.
Okay, she lost her job in her apartment. Now I'm gonna say this, man. My kids can't be homeless. Now, if it all get bad, hey man, you can come over here. I just have to move around for a while till y'all figure that shit out. The kids can always come here too. Now, yeah, I just can't have my kids out here all fucked up and shit, you know.
I want to believe him, but everyone I tell this story
Come closer to the mic.
Crazy. I want to believe him, but everyone I tell this story to says I'm crazy.
Can I say this before we get started? That sound like a good nigga. Now let me finish. He don't want to see his baby mama on the street. She could be living out the car. And listen, happy mom, happy child. I'm doing this for my child. Am I off base? Am I off base? Where did I go wrong? Somebody tell me. Where did I go wrong?
I think the thing about it is, first off, it was a nigga that laughed in the bathroom. That nigga was way back there when that shit tickled his spine. But anyway, the thing about it is this. There are these things called boundaries, right? And you place them in your life for everyone in your life.
Boundaries? What?
Why does she have this shit fast forwarded, man? We're gonna have to find a different clip. I don't know why this. I didn't know this was a lady talking over this clip. I didn't know this was a lady talking over this clip. Let me find the other clip. It's right here. That I can't deal with that sped up shit. And her and me talking over this. All right, let's see what this one is.
Like, it's hard to find a man out here, period, because I feel like I'm that nigga. It's not nothing a nigga can do for me that I can't do.
It's hard to find a man out here because I feel like I'm that nigga. Crazy word.
For myself, besides sex, but they got toys and shit. But I bring everything to the table. And I'm like Jill Scott. If a man can tell me what to do, he can tell me what to do. But if he can't, he can't. And I will walk over him, on him, roll him over. He gotta go.
All right, so what's the question? she just wanted you to know those things.
I'm saying, like, it's finding a man, period. Like, that's gonna be that.
You can't find a man. You just you coming in a relationship talking about I'm that nigga. You can't. You've already fulfilled the role, lady. You've already fulfilled the role, lady. Maybe you need to be trying to find a woman or something because you already that nigga. I don't know.
Man, that nigga. Like, so I can be not that nigga.
You know, I feel what you're saying.
Are you calling? Did you say I'm that nigga?
I'm that nigga.
I'll come back to that. Go ahead.
Because here's the thing. I get the atmosphere that you're asking this question. Like, I get that. But if you know these things are repelling men, these are things that we can heal within ourselves. Sometimes that hyper-independence that you got is a result of some trauma you ain't healed. I get it.
I got so much to say, Chad.
Take care of your own self. You should. But you don't. How many times I done had this motherfucking mic all day, and I ain't had to tell not one person that I'm a real ass nigga. I ain't had to say it. Because I don't give myself a pat on the back for doing shit I should do. I should take care of myself. I should be able to provide in case of emergency. I should be disciplined. And so I feel like when you're bringing that energy to the dating field, it's repelling the niggas you say you want. And so now you only end up with men that would accept.
Yeah, she's true.
I love my husband. But please help me overcome trust after fidelity issues on both parties. Please. Because he's my best friend. And we are like, we need your help. And he's watching. He's my biggest supporter.
He's watching. Thank you for the pressure.
Is he on the phone?
No, I'm recording y'all answers.
Girl, I was gonna say, hey, I don't know. Now the old will.
Man, let's get these folks the fuck up out of here, man. She couldn't even read the damn card, bro. How the fuck is that her question and she can't even read that motherfucker, bro? Like, what? Did you write this, lady? Man, let's get her the hell up out of here. Let's move on into the Nolan Wells situation. This is the first interview that Officer Tatum did with Nolan Wells. I guess they're calling him his best friend. This is the first interview that Officer Tatum did, a 2-part interview. I think they went out bought a water for the second one. Let's see.
So Warren, I'm gonna ask you some very pointed questions. I mean, just straight out. The first thing I wanna ask you is, did you kill Nolan? All right, Warren, we had a chance to get to know each other over the last, 2 days. Went out to Horn Island. So I've had an opportunity
Hit the like
to talk
button,
to you
Chad.
about a few things. And the things that you've told me have literally blown my mind. But the world haven't had a chance yet to hear your story, to hear Nolan's story through you, through his friend. And it's not just you, it's a bunch of y'all. But you know, some of the other guys were afraid because of the threats and the violence that's been threatened against their lives and all of the above. But you decided that you wanted to take this bold step and give a statement and, you know, get your side out here. And I want to start at the very beginning
What's
of
up,
all
Aaron?
this and ask you, what
What's
was
up,
your
Shirley?
relationship like with Nolan? Who was he to you?
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. You know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. You know, there's a lot of people that talk crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys, you said you kind of grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she...
Y'all say y'all don't like Officer Tatum. I got my, you know, how I feel about him. It is what it is. He's successful. He's black. Congratulations to him, though. He got them damn Chelsea boots on, though. He got them Chelsea boots on.
Said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan, a lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I met his father, and I mean, in 8th grade, that's when Nolan and I like got really close. It was COVID year, and we were in class all year long together, me and a couple of my buddies, and Nolan and I just got super tight because we'd get a Waffle House once a week together, eat, and I mean, we were just super, super close.
See, that's that Southern shit, Chad. A lot of y'all don't know about going to Waffle House once a week and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Waffle House is a staple. Now, the Waffle House ain't talking about shit if ain't nobody in that motherfucker outside smoking a Black and Mild or a cigarette, man. If ain't nobody in there smoking a Black and Mild or a cigarette, man, your Waffle House might not be worth a damn.
But his dad would swing by Waffle House, you know, and like, you know, hang out around us, but never, you know, I was never around Nolan's parents a lot, but I mean, that didn't change our relationship any. Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as, you know, anyone else. So.
And walk me through the day of 4th of July where you guys were all going out.
Right.
This seems like something that I would assume that may have occurred more than just
double covered and smothered and chunked. What you talking about? Double covered, smothered, and chunked, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat.
this year.
Yeah, of course.
Was it something that you guys did more than just this year? It's a two-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together, that you hang out often in this fashion? And then I want you to then walk me through 4th of July
What's
this
up,
year
Lala?
when the incident happened.
Okay. You know, being from the Gulf Coast, there's a boating and fishing is very, very popular.
All right, chat. I need y'all to hit the like button, man. We got to get the likes up in here. We got to hit the algorithm. We haven't been hitting the like goals at all, chat. I don't know what's going on, but please hit the like button on your way in, and be sure to comment in the chat. If you're in here, you're alive, you wake, you had a good day, say what's up to the chat. They'll say it back. But yeah, he says he's from the coast down there in Ocean Springs. We had a few callers call in from Ocean Springs, so we know that, yeah, the boats, they're out there on the boats, they're out there fishing. I think Brittany Renner just moved back home too. I think she's from Ocean Springs.
The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or, you know, people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And, you know, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and he was, I mean, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat.
Hey, thank everybody for hitting the like button. What's up, OSR? Good to see you in here. What's up, Ivan? What's up, Eric? What's up, Deborah? Everybody hit that like button on the way in. We're going to get some people in here. We're going to have a good night, man. I got some good shit to cover tonight.
To go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, you know, on the water, you know. And I mean, Nolan loved to do that too. I mean, he was not like he was just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go on the water and, you know, have a good time with the guys. And that's what we did a lot. But 4th of July, everybody was out there. Like I said, like Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us. And he was always welcome to come.
I'm not going to lie, chat. I do think something is up. But to the people who are actually, truly don't have anything to do with this, like are genuinely scared, I feel sorry for them. Like the people, if it is a cover up, the people covering up, fuck them. You know, it is what it is. But the people around this situation that genuinely don't know what the fuck is going on and have the world looking at them crazy, I feel sorry for those people. I've been in that position before, chat, knowing that everything was, you know, on the up and up, and people still trying to blame you for a situation or under-eyeing you for a situation. That's not a good feeling, especially not at that age. I was around the same age as them. I was around the same age as them.
Nolan was always out there with us. And but started 4th of July, you know, my buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming, you know. Everybody's very, very excited for the 4th of July from down here. Like, it's a big thing.
It's a big deal. Huh?
Very, very big deal. And
what's up, Haynes?
I mean, I actually stayed with Nolan that night.
So the story is, Haynes, is that they went out for the 4th of July. There was some kind of altercation on the beach. Everybody's saying they last seen him around 3 o'clock and he was going to hang out with a girl or meet a girl. Both friends left them. Something about a boat taking on water, and they had to get the boat back. Long story short, he never comes home. Some stuff is deleted out of his phone. They have to go get his car keys from the friends. The friends don't help out on the search and rescue mission. They say, why would we help? Y'all think we did it anyway. This is before the body is found. Next day, the body is found pretty much in the same general area that they had been looking. Now you caught up. Autopsy was performed. Now they had an independent autopsy performed that Colin Kaepernick paid for. the independent autopsy came through kind of inconclusive because all of his shit was gone. His throat was removed. All of his organs were removed from the first autopsy. And that first autopsy, they're still waiting on the toxicology report to come back on that one.
At my buddy's house, and I woke up at my buddy's house, and we went to McDonald's, got food.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff was missing. His organs, they say his throat was like cut open, you know, like a lot of things, because they did a full autopsy. I guess the county did their full autopsy first before the body was shipped to Washington, D.C. for the independent autopsy.
Dude, Nolan was not with me. And I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck. And well, first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went, topped the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got it. It was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went.
He skipped the name. Why did Officer Tatum cut that name out? Officer Tatum cut that name out. Why did he cut that name out? Who the fuck is that?
Up to my truck. And
that's clearly edited, chat. You can see where it jumps. They're like, he cut the name out.
Well, first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's.
Is it a minor? I don't know. Why would he cut the name out?
Came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went, topped the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou boat launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where.
Listen, ain't nobody accused nobody in here of this shit. We just said there's some fishy shit going on and something's being covered up. Yeah, don't come in here trying to tell me how the fuck I should look at a situation. God made you and God made me. God gave you analytical skills and God gave me analytical skills. I'm not judging you for your analytical skills, and leave me the fuck alone about mine.
We all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and probably 2 or 3 other guys, and y'all the only.
You say if they were all black, would this be a storyline? Yes, I've been this nigga. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Yes. You damn right. Was it national? No. But was it statewide? Yes, nigga. Yes. Yes. It was all black people there. Yes. My damn cousin drowned. Yes. They tried to say we unalived him. Yes. We stayed out there and searched. The damn boats took 2 hours to get out there. They put 12 minutes on his life when he went under the water. Yes, it was all black people. You damn right. Yes, nigga.
Y'all are the only ones that went out to this island.
And that's completely incorrect. I mean, Horn Island on the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water on, you know, throughout the entire Gulf Coast. I mean, everybody and their mom is on the water on 4th of July, you know. There's no telling. I mean, roughly.
The difference is that we called 911. We actually seen my cousin drown. We seen him go underwater. We called 911. Other boats are out there, people jumping off the boats trying to go help him and shit. Called 911. It took them like 2 hours to get the boats out there looking for him. Sun gets ready to go down. They tell us it's time to fucking go. I had to break the news to his mom that he's not coming home. I had to go tell her that. Every time I see her, I damn near want to break down, because I know I had to deliver her that news.
Probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4,000 people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 3 rows of boats all the way until my vision ended, until I could see of people from, I mean, there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats.
Yeah.
I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island to where, I mean, who knows? I mean, and that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side.
Hell no, I ain't killed my cousin. But the thing about it is the people, like the town and the people surrounding it, the people that weren't out there, they didn't know what the fuck happened. Of course, they looking at us crazy, like what the fuck really happened? Yeah, people was looking at us fucking crazy. Then it's an emotional roller coaster because you got people who genuinely care about you and care about, you know, your grieving process and shit like that. They know, understood, Stan, you went through some traumatic shit. So they're trying to, you know, keep you on the up and up, check on you, ask, are you okay? Then you got other people talking shit or making slick ass comment. It's an emotional roller coaster. For damn sure. It's an emotional roller coaster.
On the west tip. It wasn't just there. I mean, there's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to you guys at the dock, getting on the boat. You're saying there's multiple people, probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats.
Right.
What boat were you on and what boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on
Here we go.
22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down. And
what's that, a bass
I called
boat?
Bart that morning. I was like, hey, man, can you take your boat out? And he was like, yeah, well, my dad's decided not to go, and I'll take the boat, and I'll take you and your friends, of course.
No, that ain't no bass
He's a buddy
boat.
of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I mean, I rode out there with Bart, and a lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I, and Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. There was like 8 people on the Triton, and then there was 8 or 9 people on the Triton, and then there was the rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line, which is 24 tide line.
And so you guys get on, and I know a little bit more than the audience do because we went out there a little earlier because I wanted to see exactly what the drive was like, what the dock was like, how far it is out there.
Of course.
But I want you to tell, you know, the audience, like, what was this trip like? You know, how was the waters? You know, did you guys
hit the like button,
did you guys
chat?
do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island? Was there music? Is it like a big party? Like what is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. I mean,
Yeah, chat, when I dealt with that situation on my cousin drowned, I was still on the boat. Like, yeah, I was still on the boat. I tried to start the boat, like, boom. I didn't know a boat had to be in neutral, because shit, the only person that had a boating license on the boat was in the water, too. I didn't know that you had to have a boat in neutral and all of that shit. I just jumped in that motherfucker, started trying to crank the key, and didn't nothing go on.
you know how, I mean.
What's up, Carlos?
Everybody's really excited. And, I mean, we had a lot of people loaded down, so obviously our biggest, you know, we're just trying to make sure everybody, you know, gets out there safe. And so, I mean, on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. I mean, the waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And I mean, it was a great day to be out there on 4th of July. And so, I mean, we followed each other out, and I mean, it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more rough, but it was not anything all my buddies' boats couldn't handle, or like, it wasn't like we were getting really beat up or anything. I mean, it was pretty calm.
And so you guys get out there. I'm assuming that you line the boats up, because I'm envisioning the picture of getting out there and there's hundreds of boats. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of people. Yeah. So it wasn't just you guys on a deserted island with
course not.
A few people. There's just thousands of people out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people doing what? What does it look like when you first pull up?
I pull up, and we pulled up at 10:30. I mean, it wasn't, early afternoon. I mean, it wasn't, but 10:30 is, you know, it's still pretty early in the day. And when
What confuses me even more than why were the messages deleted from his phone? Why haven't they subpoenaed that? Why haven't they subpoenaed, his shit? Why haven't they hit up Snapchat for the deleted shit? Why haven't they the other people who had his shit? Why haven't they subpoenaed phone records? I don't know. That they're a little slow moving on that shit for me.
When we got there was already 3 rows of boats lined up all the way, like I said, until I could see. And
you're talking, when you say all you can see, you're speaking about miles.
Yeah.
Of boat. When we went out there earlier, earlier today, but when we went out there, the island is massive.
Correct.
I mean, it's just several miles long.
Roughly 10 to 12 miles. I mean, it's.
So you think that the boats were stretching from one end to the next, or a small area of about a mile or less than a mile of boats?
I don't know, nobody.
I think there was boats all the way around the entire island, but I think some spots were more popular than others. Like the West Tip is usually very, very crowded on the 4th of July, and everybody knows that. So that's where a lot of people park because they want to be around other people. And the East End's a little more, there's not as many people, but there's still a lot of boats out there. I mean, it's not like every area of the.
Now his neck was tore up because they did the autopsy. So what Ben Crump revealed from his autopsy today was the second autopsy, the independent autopsy performed in Washington, D.C. that Colin Kaepernick funded. The county already done an autopsy. So they did the full autopsy. They got all the organs. They, I guess, cut his throat open, and they're waiting on a toxicology report. So that's why they're saying his throat was missing, because the first autopsy, they took his shit. I'm guessing.
Of Horn Island was covered, 100%.
Wow. So you get out there, y'all jump out. What do? When I say jump out, you obviously not just sitting on the boat. The island is there. Like, what exactly are people doing there? Like, are you spending more time in the water, on the island, in the boat? Like, how is that look out there?
I mean, everybody, as soon as you get there, I mean, there's people on boats, grabbing drinks and, food, whatever else. Everybody is fully prepared for the 4th of July. They bring, all the drinks and food that they need because, they've been preparing for 4th for a little while now. But when we got there, I helped my buddies tie the boats up because the tie line was right here, the Palm Beach was in the middle, and then the Triton was on the outer side. And there was about a drop off from where the bow was. I mean, if you jumped off the bow, you were probably about neck deep in water. But if you got off the stern, you were probably waist deep in water. But when we got there, we tied up, got, bow and rear anchor set, and we tied up all the boats, made sure they were good, and everyone just got on the water. And then eventually, next thing you know, it's our group. And then, next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us. And then it just grew and grew as the day came on. And, that's just how it was. Everybody's drinking, it's 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves.
So, now he just admitted that they was wasted. You know what I'm saying? Now he just admitted everybody out there drinking. You know what I'm saying? So we got that out the way. He just said everybody's out there getting drunk.
And, it's a big party, basically. Big party.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women, you probably had alcohol. Y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's NOLAN in this? You guys out there, the friend groups out.
Who provided the alcohol?
Out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seemed to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's NOLAN in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, I had a couple conversations with NOLAN that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They in a group. I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, over there. It was just a regular thing. We're all
we could have inferred that they were drinking, but I believe this is the first time on camera anybody has admitted that they were out there drinking, especially from this friend group. I think this is the first time on camera that anyone has admitted that they were drinking.
Used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very familiar with the islands, and I feel like it was just a big. I talked to Nolan, and you know, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody, and I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and you know, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, Nolan, and I mean, I could tell you, I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds of people I knew out there, so.
Yeah, and Nolan said something interesting. You told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be indicative of y'all's friendship.
Right.
And then he also mentioned something to you about that particular day and what it meant to him.
Right.
And could you share that?
Right. Yeah. So Nolan and my buddy Javon are talking, and you know, I grew up with Nolan, and
yeah, CR, that came out today.
You know, just all, like I said, like just so joyful, like always happy. Like every picture I have with Nolan or picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling. I mean, like he's always happy. If I always need like a shed of light, I'm calling Nolan, you know. And Nolan and I laugh and joke a lot. Like that's how our friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. You know, no one takes anything that serious. You know, we enjoy our time together. You know, I mean, there's never any awkwardness within our friend group. We're very, very tight. So if I ever need to get something off my chest or talk to anybody, I'm talking to all my friends. I'm not just talking to like specifically anybody. I would go out, like even if I'm having issues with something, I go talk to my group chat, and my guys are there to, you know, give me a hand anytime I need it. And all my guys are, you know, all my buddies are the same exact way. You know, Nolan was the same exact way. If you ever need something, I'm here, man. Like that's how he was. So.
And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
Right.
And like, what? Explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30.
Right.
People are still out there partying, and
Correct.
they're having a good time. But something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So.
That boy gonna walk him through all the questions, ain't he? Damn. He gonna walk him through all the damn questions. Let's get to the second part of this interview. I don't know why he released them in reverse order.
Some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
If I'm sitting waist deep in water and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat. I open the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. All right, we're in Mississippi right now. We're getting ready to recount the exact path that the boys took, also with Nolan Wells, from where they docked the boat at, all the way out to Horn Island and back. The boys are gonna explain to me exactly what went on, how many people were there, how many boats were taken out, which I think the world is gonna be completely dumbfounded when they realize what the truth really is, because the lies have been pervasive. So we're right here where Nolan left on the boat, and you'll find out how many people were there, how many boats, and then we're gonna take that same path out. I'm gonna go look at Horn Island and see exactly where they could have been to get a perspective that the media.
Hey, Chad, hit the like button when you come in, man. It's taking us a long time to get to 50,000 subscribers, too. Like, I don't know. We've been waiting on this shit for like 3 months now, bro. What's going on?
Don't even care to try to do. And then we're gonna take the trek back, and we're gonna find out exactly what happened to Nolan. This is the reason why I'm here, man. I want you guys to have a voice. I want you guys to be able to speak out and show what the truth really is, and then let the world decide. I just don't want you guys to end up in a situation where your story never gets heard. Right here is where Nolan and probably 20 other kids got on the boat. So it's not just Nolan and 3 other kids. That was a lie, that was a myth. I'm gonna prove that. Right here is where the kids were docking, and we're gonna show you a video that coincided. I'm gonna walk at the exact angle that the video is being broadcast from, so you know that I'm exactly where I say I am. But the boys were here tons of people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one, it wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now, here's the angle that you're gonna see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, you know, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island. All right, you guys, sorry about the sunglasses. It's very bright out here, and I never wear sunglasses, but we're at Horn Island in almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here, but I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats,
hit the like button,
4
chat,
deep. From way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island.
Oh shit. L just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, L, for dropping 10 gifted in here. Appreciate that, L, for your continued support. Lala Mods, drop the email. Drop the email, the shopplugsation.com@gmail.com. If you send me an email, L, I'll send you a copy of my book. I'll send you a copy of the book if you send me an email at shopplugsation@gmail.com. And I'll send you a copy of the book. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Chat, but this is what I was gonna say. Thank you for also becoming a member. This is what I was gonna say, chat. I've been out there, not to Ocean Springs and not to Horn Island, but I have been to Biloxi. And Biloxi and Ocean Springs are like the damn near the same thing. It's just one is a little more urban, the other one is a little more suburban, a little more upscale. And I've been out there for Black Beach Week, and I can just imagine that the 4th of July on Horn Island is probably like Black Beach Week, and it's a lot of motherfuckers out there, chat. I mean, the whole beach is covered. The Black Beach Week is crazy in Biloxi. So I can only imagine how 4th of July is like right next door.
Probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously, this is a Monday, and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded.
So yeah, chat, Biloxi is 6.5 miles from Ocean Springs. So we're talking about across a bridge. The one is on one side of the bridge, like I said, that's a little more urban. The other one is on the other side of the bridge that's a little more upscale. You got Biloxi, you got Ocean Springs. It is what it is. 10 minutes, 6.5 miles, 6.2 miles.
With people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting ready to sink. And so, and from what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man, get on the boat, get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was gonna stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat, he didn't. And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come.
So Warren Mom is the judge. So she's probably up for re-election this year. That's probably why we know that Mississippi has elections this year. They're not having municipal elections. We know that they're not having the sheriff elections. It's only for the Senate, state, and House and judges. They're having judicial elections this year. This year is a judicial election year. So if she's up for re-election, it would make sense that they're trying to get ahead of it because fucking the election, what is July, August, September, October, November? She has 3 months and some change to get this shit together.
Come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody, pushing an agenda is wrong. And that's the reason why I came out here. I wanted to see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? You know, does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lie started. People were putting out on social media, knowing that they're lying, that this is what it was like on a day that Nolan and his friends came out here to Horn Island. And if it was 4 or 5 people and they came out here and Nolan was with them and maybe it was a few people out here like it is today and Nolan came up missing, then maybe it would be suspicious. But they didn't take the time to give context to the people because they're evil and they're liars. So if it was like that right now, when the situation happened, I can see how people had a concern. But you gotta replay this moment with thousands of people here. If anything would have happened directly involving Nolan and his friends, you can't tell me.
What do you mean judges aren't elected? Where are judges? You said they don't run for re-election. Shit, in Arkansas they do. And they haven't elected. In Arkansas they run for re-election. Or they run for election. What the hell you mean?
That thousands of people wouldn't have seen anything happen. And so that's pretty much why I wanted to come here and show you guys. This is what they want you to believe it was like on that day, which is a lie. They want you to believe they came to a secluded island, just 4 of them, and then Nolan is left behind, and then his body's washed up on shore, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat out lie. Is there anything that you want to say, you want people to?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, in the United States, many judges can and do run for re-election. Process varies state by state and court system. Now, federal judges are appointed, but state judges, certain county judges and shit, yeah, that shit varies.
To know about this whole experience.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, from someone, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, you know, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, you know, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July, you know, this is where people come out to celebrate. And I mean, if you film the water, you could see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you could see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist deep water right there to neck deep. And then it drops from neck deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't even a quarter mile out the island and when we were leaving, and
so where my cousin drowned, it's a drop off like that, but it's way deeper. It drops off from like where you can touch, and then it's like a 40, 50 foot drop off. It's not 17 feet. Like where you could touch, it's like a 40, 50 foot drop off right after that.
I mean, it was 30 foot of water.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I want to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants, they're wet, and you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, you know, Memorial Day, like, you know, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off,
what's up, Gito?
If I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, you know, if you're sitting on a pond, if no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture, but most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back. I mean, you know, especially the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like no one has their phone though, usually. I mean, unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand. They've been walking around Horn Island, you know.
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
I mean,
other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and
you said Nola could swim for sure. I'm not debating that he could swim, but swimmers can drown. Unfortunately, swimmers can drown. In this case, did he drown? I don't know. I don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. I'm still asking what happened to Nolan Wells. But swimmers can drown. Just because you can swim don't mean your ass can't drown.
I grabbed my boat. I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. Everywhere. There was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, you know. And people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, and that's the way it is around here. You don't take your phone and walk around the island. There's plenty of phones on the boat and, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And we had 20 plus people on the spread between our 3 boats. So of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. A lot of girls like to take pictures, in the water. And so do guys, but, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat.
Yeah, with this being the judge's son, and they already, have gotten lawyered up, like they say, this was definitely a screened interview. They screened the questions prior. They had to, allegedly. That's what I believe. There's no way this is just a raw, straight-through interview.
And be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else, but as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's common sense, man. And describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online. How hectic was it out here? Right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here, but clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So, how dense was it with people here?
Well, you look at all the videos, that are spread out online, and a lot of them, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know that better than anybody, but there was boats lined up all the way down the island, and there was rows. There was a first row, there's a second row. We were in the 3rd row where it drops off, and then there was even boats in front of us. And this went all the way down towards the east end of the island, and then there was people on the east tip, and we're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that.
Yeah. So leaving a phone on the boat, yeah, phones are expensive. You don't want it to drown, but they should have tried to get him his phone back. But that's not the weirdest part to me. The weirdest part to me is the deleted stuff from the phone. The phone being on the boat still, okay, that's plausible. But why was stuff allegedly deleted? That's what makes it a whole ordeal as well.
4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat. He didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically a pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good.
Yeah, Snapchat auto deletes, but that's after 24 hours and you have saved memories. They're making it seem like all of his memories that he had saved was gone too. Like it was a complete wipe. And she said that for sure he would go take pictures every night. I remember the mom saying he would take pictures all the time, every night, videos and shit. Then she said that day he was probably recording some shit. So the 24 hours hadn't surpassed for it to be deleted. I don't know if Snapchat has a fail safe where if somebody tries to get in, everything deletes. I don't know. But the way the mom was speaking, it was like his memories and everything was gone.
There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit, and which is the, you know, by the stern.
His mom is the one who said the phone had some stuff deleted out of it. When they got into the phone, they knew some stuff was deleted out of it. His mom said that.
Like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I think it's important for people to have the context of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen. And the beauty of all of this is that you guys have evidence to prove that, of course, you asked Nolan to come on and different things like that. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you,
yes, sir,
you know,
always.
giving me a rundown of kind of what it was like on that day.
Right.
And hopefully people can understand what the truth is and make their own decision on facts.
Right. I mean, based on.
So they can't, I don't know if the phone was in Nolan's name or not, but it's going to be pretty hard for them to subpoena, you know, a full forensics of the phone without the police. Without the police or the FBI, it's going to be really hard. Now, there are independent people who probably can pull the forensics on the phone, but how well would that stand up in court? You know?
Like, you know, there's not a lot of people that are from the Mississippi Gulf Coast that don't understand Horn Island and don't understand the way boating works. And, you know, boating is a tight-knit community. I like to fish a lot, and, you know, there's, you know, a lot of people know a lot of people. Everybody knows everybody. I know a lot of fishermen on the Gulf Coast. They know me and my buddies because we like to go in the water all the time. I mean, that's what we do in the summer. And
hit the like button, chat.
A lot of people from the Gulf Coast know the truth behind, oh, you don't take your phone out the boat. You know, the little facts. It's a difficult subject. This Horn Island's like 11 miles long. You know, not to be exact, but around 11 miles long. It's not like this is a sliver of an island. It's a quarter mile. It's like a sandbar. No, this goes on to, even if we came around this corner right here, Brandon, we couldn't even see the end of the island.
Oh, really?
It is that long.
Really?
Yeah, I mean.
I thought that was the end right there.
No. I mean, it goes all the way down there, and I mean, it's a big island.
It's a lot of ways to get around biometrics. Not everybody has face scan or fingerprint on their phone. Not everybody has that. You know, some people use 4-digit or 6-digit passcode. Let's get into Ben Crump. Ben Crump's gonna break down the independent autopsy and why they couldn't do the thorough independent autopsy. He's gonna break down that the throat was missing and the organ.
For the NAACP, we take this and many other cases serious because every person matters. I want to thank the Mississippi State.
All right, here we go. Here's the autopsy. Chat, everyone hit the like button for me one time. Everyone hit the like button for me one time on your way in. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Everyone in the chat say what's up. I'm going to say what's up back, and my mods going to make you feel welcome. This is the independent autopsy results that Ben Crump is about to go over. I want y'all to realize that the organs are gone because there was an autopsy performed prior by the county, I'm assuming. What's up, Sharon?
On the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. He conducted and presented this report on July 19, 2026. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death, undetermined, pending investigation. And we'll explain that as we go through the report this morning. The manner of death, undetermined, pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells. age 18 years old, race black, gender male, date of death unknown. Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings.
Thank you, Gito.
And this is significant.
Here we go.
Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown at this time. He said the body was received
What's up,
after
Sonya?
the initial autopsy. He said the body had marked decompensation. He said corona incision of the scalp, brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso, and he talked about the organs being removed, as is common, accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they are dissected and examined. And then they are put back in a bag within inside the body. So when they're buried, their remains will all be with them. But in this occasion, if there's going to be a second autopsy, then the organs are put in the body cavity so the second pathologist could be able to examine the organs as well. Very significant for Dr. Mitchell was that the anterior inner neck structures were absent.
Bro, I'm gonna need this nigga being Crump to be a little more prepared, brother. I'm sorry, chat. Like, I'm gonna need this nigga being Crump to be a little more prepared. Like, didn't nobody brief this nigga before he got up here, bro? Nobody briefed this nigga? Damn.
Not received with the body. And we'll explain that in just a minute. And then it talks about the additional procedures performed during the second autopsy, and we'll go into the paragraphs on that there, because he explains it better in his narrative. So, where's the first page of the discussion? Not the diagram yet. Diagram over there. So, he talks in the preliminary discussion opinion. This forensic pathologist identified several limitations during the second autopsy that create barriers to establishing a definitive cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells. And that's important. He talks about the fact that we didn't get to see the body when it was first recovered, like the medical examiner working for Mississippi would have seen. He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy examination.
Bro, this nigga Ben Crump needs some reading glasses, bro. He just need to have somebody come read this shit for him, bro. Like, Ben, like, you are the attorney, you the muscle. Like, I understand you need to talk and shit, but delegate this task next time, nigga. Like, please, for the love of God, the people ask that you delegate this task. When it comes to the reading and shit, man, delegate that shit.
What he's saying, because the body was so decomposed that you couldn't tell if there was bruises or abrasions on the body when he received it on the 10th of July. For these reasons, additional dissection procedures not performed during the first autopsy examination were performed to rule out potential blunt force injuries responsible for the death. These procedures included facial dissection, posterior head and neck dissection, dissection of the ribs, the pelvic, dissection of the subcutaneous and deep soft tissue, dissection of the back, the buttocks, the arms, and legs. He did all of this to rule out things. He ruled out there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries identified. This was very important because he wanted to be very thorough and very transparent, because transparency is the key to getting to the answers of why Nolan Wells is not with us. So he did that there and was very straightforward, very open, very open. He says, however, dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8 inch focal area of red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlaying the occipital bone. And he talked about how,
man, you talking about DEI is dangerous. Your last name is Martinez. What the fuck are you talking about? Nick, your name is Julie Martinez, man. Your last name is Martinez, and you talking about some DEI is dangerous, man. What the hell is going on?
he found red discoloration when he cut open into
I can't make this shit up.
of his head towards the occipital bone, and he saw the red discoloration, and we actually saw the pictures of it. It's significant. You can't help but notice, why is this dark red here in the back of his head? And so he was important to note that in his report.
Listen, you know how DEI work, right? Julie Martinez, like, it might sound cool when it rolls off your tongue, but I just want you to know that with a name like Martinez, it doesn't matter what you fucking accomplish. They're gonna say, and you're a woman. You're a woman with the last name Martinez. It doesn't matter what you accomplish in life. They're gonna chalk that shit up to DEI. That's where we're at with it, man. I don't know if you got the memo or not, but that's how shit's rolling now, nigga.
He said that etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlaying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. These findings are inconclusive for perimortem injury due to both the extensive decomposition and the absence of associated injuries. This finding, however, is significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further.
Hell, it ain't that he can't read. He mispronounced it. He can't fucking see. You don't see him squinting at this damn. He ain't. Somebody go get B in his fucking reading glasses. This nigga can't see. And they didn't brief him. This nigga's tripping, man.
Further investigation, it is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed. He said another limitation faced by this forensic pathologist was the absence of the anterior internal neck structures, the trachea and the laryngeal cartilage, the thyroid horn, and the hyoid bone were not received with the body. So he's saying that the throat was not received with the body when he got Nolan Wells' body in Washington, D.C. to perform.
Y'all sitting here talking about Ben Crump DEI. This nigga Ben Crump needs some fucking reading glasses and he getting on my damn nerves, but Ben Crump is worth between $6 and $50 million. His ass got a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice from Florida State. He got a Juris Doctor from Florida State University College of Law. I'm not gonna lie, man. Y'all got Ben Crump fucked up, man. Y'all got Ben Crump fucked up.
On the second autopsy. And so let's discuss that with what he said about that. He said, it is assumed that the initial pathology.
Now, I'm just going to say this. If you ain't got a doctorate, shut the fuck up about some DEI shit. Right now is not the time, man. This nigga Ben can pull out a damn doctorate on your ass, man. Shut the fuck up about some DEI, man.
Pathologists retain these structures for additional evaluation. He said the retention of the anterior neck structures during an initial autopsy is a common forensic pathology practice. He was chief medical examiner for 7 years in Washington, D.C., and he said that if they had concern about throat or any fracture or compression of the throat, they too will hold them back. He doesn't know why they held the throat back, but he said the throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said,
well, what the fuck are you doing wrong then, Julie? If this nigga Ben Crump can't read, he's not knowledgeable, and he can't speak, why the fuck he got $6 to $50 million and a damn doctorate and you in my YouTube chat hating on him? I'm just saying, man, the nigga's worth between $6 and $50 million, has a doctorate. What are your accomplishments, Julie? I'm just gonna ask that. What are your accomplishments?
his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation. Remember, it's about transparency. Because the initial autopsy rightfully removed.
Your name is Abdul and you talking about some affirmative action. Your name is Abdul. What the fuck are we doing tonight, Chad? What? This nigga's name is Abdul. And he's talking about affirmative action. Nigga, your name is Abdul. What?
And dissecting each organ, there are additional limitations inherent in the second autopsy of Nolan Wells. The most significant of the limitations was the inability to directly observe the airway and the lungs for water and directly observe.
It's crazy. Martinez and Abdul is going harder than Bradley. Martinez and Abdul is going harder on affirmative action and DEI than fucking Bradley and Karen. This shit is crazy. Oh my God.
The stomach for gastric contents. He said it is very significant as to whether
chill, Gito.
Initial forensic scientists who got to review the body when it was recovered. We have heard from my call center people saying the body wasn't waterlogged. Well, we need to know those things. But unfortunately, because
And I'm gonna keep it real, chat. I'm up here defending fucking Ben Crump, man, but y'all not about to play with him. Now, I'm the host. Now, I want Ben Crump to hurry this shit up and get his words and shit together. I wish he would have been, but what y'all not gonna do is play on Ben Crump's fucking accomplishments, man. Y'all not finna play on that. This nigga got a doctorate, man. Nah, I know it's 140 people in here, man. Who all in this motherfucker got a doctorate? Because I don't. It's 140 people in this motherfucker. Who all has a net worth between 6 and 50 million? Because I don't. So what we not finna do is go too hard on Ben Crump.
because the body was decomposed and the organs have already been dissected, those are things we can only get from the initial autopsy. So therefore, again, the manner and cause of death is undetermined until further investigation. We are hopeful that the Mississippi Medical Examiner would give Dr. Mitchell an opportunity to see their photographs and their observations to the condition of Nolan Wells' body closer in time to July 4th. That is very important, and we have to continue to demand transparency, President Johnson. In addition, the original...
It's like, damn, we got the YNs and we got all of the misnomers about the damn community. Then you got all the shut up and dribble shit, you know, niggas don't want to do nothing but nigga shit and be rappers or drug. Then you got a man like Ben Crump. Got a doctor, you know what I'm saying, wears suits and shit every day, clean shaven, bald ass head, and we got to kick his back. No, hell no. Cut it out. Cut it out, man. Y'all can't just kick down everybody. The ones that's doing shit the right way. Come on, bro. Come on.
Toxicology results have not been received at the time of this report. And we continue to wait for the toxicology to come back because, again, that will be part of the investigation into Nolan Wells' autopsy by Dr. Mitchell. It is significant to know.
What's up, young Merv? I'm over here defending Ben Crump ass. You shout out to my fellow FBA, young Merv, man. I'm over here defending Ben Crump ass, man, because he put in 5 years of schooling. He went and got his damn bachelor's, then he went back and got his damn whatever doctorate, man. That's an extra 3 years, man. This man got a doctorate, man, and he has a successful practice. And we still kick his fucking back in, stomp on him, step on him. It's like, damn. Who the fuck? Martin Luther King trashed his fucking legacy. Malcolm X trashed his shit. Obama's not even black, they say. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here?
That it's many things that go into toxicology that only Dr. Mitchell would be able to opine upon, and medical experts can opine upon. And he feels the proper place to do that is before a grand jury in a courtroom. And so we would hope that the district attorney would present Dr. Mitchell before the grand jury as well. We want all relevant information to be heard.
See, I think a lot of y'all are missing my point. I'm finna get back to this, but what I mean by what I'm saying is this. We come in here all the time and we get on these panels and we swipe up into these lives, and Black culture is always a topic. Black American culture and specifically. Now, when we have Black Americans doing well, that's not fucking good enough either. So where does that leave it? It's just shit. If we're gonna kick in the niggas who are successful rapping, oh, they're just fucking rappers. They're the circus. The niggas dribbling basketballs or hitting people hard on the football field. Oh, they're entertainers. Then now we got educated niggas getting money and getting visibility, and we kick they fucking back in too. Like, who can win? Who the fuck can win?
By the grand jury. Lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or around a...
He's doing well by representing criminals. Okay, so Trayvon Martin was a damn criminal. Nolan Wells was a criminal. He's doing well by representing criminals. See, dadgummit, that's the thing, bro. Talk about representing criminals, bro. Is that what you want to do? Call in. Call in. Let me drop the phone number. Call in, dadgummit. Call in. I'm defending being crump ass today. Y'all got me fucked up.
Body of water. This is lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water with suspicion of drowning, it is important to confirm how that person entered the water. This is the crux of the matter. This information is especially important for those deaths of persons who can swim. As in the case with Nolan Wells, at the time of this report, this forensic pathologist does not...
See, I'm not saying y'all racist for not rocking with being crump. What I'm saying is, for all purposes tonight, I'm not finna let y'all keep kicking in the back of FBA's niggas that's doing well and doing it the right way. Being crump could very well been a fucking drug dealer putting shit in the community, but his ass went to college, his ass got a doctorate, now his ass is getting visibility nationwide, doing what the fuck he went to school to do. It is what it is, man. That's what I'm defending, man. We gotta have some, that y'all not finna keep kicking in black excellence, man, and acting like this shit ain't going on.
Not know the condition of Nolan Wells. He did not know whether he was conscious.
Young Murr says, I teach financial literacy to our people every day. 60 out of 100 times my own people think I'm scamming. We got to do better. Love y'all. Hey, Young Merv, keep doing what you doing, man. Keep doing what you doing, man. If they think you scamming, maybe when they see you show up the next time, you'll pull them in. Maybe you need to work on your funnel as well. You know, what's your offer? I know you doing it for free and just trying to help people, but you still got to have an offer. L says, Pluxation, I'm riding with you, but implying he earned what are multiple honorary doctors devalues real doctors, but it must be said, that's not an honorary doctor. He went to school for 3 years to get that. What do you mean? To get his doctor, for being crump to get that, he went to school for 3 years. Yeah, Ben Crump went to school for 3 years to get that. He didn't just go stand on the stage and get that shit. He went to school for 3 years to get that one.
Or unconscious when he entered the water. He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water. He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be
All right, so he did get an honorary, but you can get it for 3 years. The kind that he got, it takes 3 years to get. But they say his extensive work, civil rights, defending minorities or marginalized community, his roles in changing laws and practices. All right, so yeah, you were right, L. You were right, L. But fuck that, we still on defending being crunk.
So the matter, it would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death. He said, definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out. And let me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got a Juris Doctor, but when you look that up, it say it take 3 years to get one of those. So I guess they gave him his honorary. But Juris degree says it take 3 years to get. Yeah, 3 years. The typical frame timeline for earning a Juris degree varies. 3 years for a JD, 1 year for a LLM, and several years for advanced research degrees like SJD.
Call your attention to this. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand, he said based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play. That is significant. With the following questions still outstanding, number one, what were the circumstances that led to Nolan Xavier Wells entering the water? Number two, what was the body position when it was found? We know that a member of the
All right, chat. We'll check back in on that Nolan Wells case tomorrow, man. I can only take so much of being crunk right now, man. All right, we finna move on into some other of the news. Chat, be sure to hit the like button, man, and subscribe to the channel.
Sometimes it's best to expect the unexpected.
When the Straits of Hormuz first closed, everyone was in a panic, and it was the biggest crisis that many of us have seen in this generation.
There are thousands of vessels that are stuck.
Ships are still getting attacked.
They said they control the strait. They do not.
We heard from the International Energy Agency that this is the biggest oil supply crisis ever seen.
It is in the world's largest oil-producing region.
The Straits of Hormuz is responsible for 20 to 25% of the world's oil as well as gas seaborne trade.
So we're talking about 20 million barrels per day.
It also meant that a lot of food supplies, fertilizers,
Hit the
and
like
other
button,
essential
chat.
commodities were stuck.
Ever since the Iranian Revolution in the 70s, the idea that Hormuz has been important has been known.
Through the Strait of Hormuz.
But it's always been a back burner issue.
Oil prices and shortages were expected to soar.
There is worry in the market that there is no end in sight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, chat. My gas done jumped up like damn 60 cents in the last week. I ain't gonna lie, chat. Gas, my shit jumped up like 60 cents in the last week, bro.
That knock-on effect really is being felt.
People were really wondering how the world would cope with such a disruption.
Many of the banks were talking $150 a barrel, $200 a barrel.
But then, it didn't happen.
Markets barely blinked at some of the challenging headlines coming from the Middle East.
The market has been pretty resilient.
Although we did see prices top $126 a barrel, many of those worst fears were never materialized.
We saw the market adjust to the crisis in somewhat surprising ways. Price response actually shows how resilient markets can be.
So how was the biggest energy crisis in a generation so easily swallowed? And does this ability to cope mean the world...
Oh shit, they must have recorded this before shit got back cracking. Let's keep pushing on that. My bad, chat. I really wanted to just pull that up because I didn't know really what it was talking about. But nah, Gito, nobody called, man. Nobody called. Nobody
Kennedy.
called. So how much did they pass? How much was that spending bill? Spending bill passed. $1.15 trillion defense bill. U.S. House of Representatives narrowly passed the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2027, authorizing $1.15 trillion in defense spending. The vote was 216 to 212, mostly along party lines, with 6 Democrats joining Republicans in favor and 7 Republicans voting with Democrats against it. The major provisions are funding for military weapons programs and rebuilding depleted stockpiles, raises service members' pays by 5 to 7% next year based on rank, expands U.S.-owned manufacturing of military assets, renames the Department of Defense to the Department of War, codifies 65 of President Trump's executive orders. They also put Section 219 in there, which expands U.S.-Israel defense technology cooperation, including joint research and industrial collaboration. Includes provisions on gender-related medical care under TRICARE. Bill now moves to Senate, where it could face strong opposition, especially over the Iran war provisions and Section 219. Senate Dems have already blocked a similar measure for the same. All right, chat. That's just a little background.
Thank you, Madam
What's
Chair.
up, Me
Thank you all
Too?
for being here today. General, in the war between Russia and Ukraine, who do we want to win?
Sir, I want Ukraine to win.
Is Russia America's friend?
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't quite hear your question.
Is Russia America's friend?
I think that depends on your definition of friend. I think it's a complicated relationship. But no, I don't think they're our friends.
Thank you. If we could cut off Russia's cash flow, which depends substantially on its sale of oil, would that help Ukraine win?
So I think militarily, anytime you can restrict resources and cash flows against an adversary,
General, I
that's a
have
good
so
thing.
much respect for you.
Yes, sir.
But I have so little time.
Yes, sir. I'll try
Could
to
you
be
just
briefer.
Give me succinct answers.
Yes, sir. It would assist a.
Would help, wouldn't
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If we could stop people, entities, and countries from buying Russia's oil, that would help cut off its cash flow, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
We have a bill to do that, as I'm sure you're aware.
Uh-oh, here we go.
We have the votes today to pass it, overwhelmingly. I also have enormous respect and admiration for our Majority Leader, Senator Thune. But I hope everybody on this panel will today contact Senator Thune and ask him to bring that bill to the floor. We should vote on it at a minimum of next week.
Oh, shit. How are they finna cut off Russia's oil sales? They finna blockade Russia? The fuck is he asking for? Is that what I'm hearing, chat? Or are they just gonna sanction? Is it gonna be some more damn sanctions?
Some of my colleagues, General,
Probably some sanctions.
want America to just stop in Iran. In the blockade, bring all of our warriors home. What would be the consequences of that in your estimation?
Sure, I think termination criteria is always a political decision. However, I assess that Iran will continue to be a challenge moving forward. So we have to be thoughtful
Will
about
they
that.
put tolls on the strait?
I don't know, sir. That's a decision that's a hypothetical and will depend on what happens
It's not
in the future.
hypothetical. We've got a blockade to stop them.
We do, sir. That's putting
I want you
economic
to look me in
pressure
the
on
eye.
Iran.
I'm not asking you for, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I know your advice to the president is private, but this is serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. Now, what happens if we come home and end the blockade to the world?
Sir, Iran has the potential to continue to be a threat, and we will need to prepare military
Will they
options to
toll
do
the
that.
strait?
Sir, that's a hypothetical question, and I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, it's not hypothetical. We come home. It's not going to be hypothetical. You know that, General, and I do too. And I appreciate your discretion, but we're down to it. We need some hard answers and some straight talk. What'll happen, Pete?
Senator, I would agree with the chairman, but the likely outcome is they would try to impose their will on the waterways in ways that the world would not like. Call it a toll, call it a fee, call it an exchange, call it control. They would do something that they would try to hold it at issue. Yes, sir.
Would they try to commence development again of a nuclear warhead?
Part of the reason President Trump had to have the courage to do what he did after Midnight Hammer is that they didn't give up their ambitions even though their nuclear sites had been obliterated. So this is a regime hell-bent on nuclear ambitions, and
Guys,
President Trump's been willing to go after it.
We need straight answers. Do we have the ability to destroy?
Hey, he ain't got time for this shit, bro. Like, he ain't got no time for this shit.
Whatever is underneath Pickaxe Mountain.
Senator, a lot of our capabilities are classified, but if anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military, the most powerful military in the world. It's all about options and trade-offs.
All right. I'm going to take a little extra time because others got it, Madam Chair. I won't abuse it. Secretary, are shrimpers farmers?
Absolutely, yes. There are farmers of the sea.
Are oyster harvesters farmers?
Yes. In this USDA,
Are they
yes.
having to compete with other countries who grow oysters and shrimp in a ditch and shoot them full of antibiotics?
100% yes.
And if you eat too much of that foreign shrimp and oysters, you'll grow an extra ear, won't you?
I'm not sure about that, but I know it is not good. And I also know we import 90% of our shrimp.
All of the damn playing in there. Ain't nobody got time for all that playing.
Much weaker, and as assets have been moved now to the Middle East. And we are now much further away from a long-term solution to halt Iran's
across the plains continue recovering from catastrophic wildfire and eventually.
A point that Senator Padilla made. We have $10 billion in this request for Midwestern farmers who are suffering because of the interruption of fuel and fertilizers because of the President Trump's war, unauthorized war. Yet, many states, blue states particularly, have submitted requests. Rhode Island has one. February, we had the worst snowstorm in our recent history. And we've been denied by the president. In fact, if you look at the numbers, 20% of blue states seem to get approved and about 80% of red states. I'm making a point, not asking a question. This is unfair. Thank you. Secretary HEGSETH, on February 28th, when you initiated this war without authorization from Congress, the Straits of Hormuz was open and providing vital fuel supplies for the whole world. Now they're closed effectively, impacting globally the price of oil and the economies of the whole world. But the Department of Defense has been planning for potential operations against Iran for many, many years. And one of their obvious assumptions was that the Strait of Hormuz could be closed. Were you unaware of that?
Senator, you are correct. Nobody plans more and looks at more contingencies than our department. And so, of course, undertaking a historic effort like this, of this scope and scale, of course, the Strait of Hormuz was front and center in every single aspect of that. Hence why one of our key objectives to begin with was to sink the entirety of Iran's Navy, which its conventional Navy was sunk. Now, you can't get rid of every single fast boat and every single machine gun and a fast boat or every single coastal cruise missile. So we acknowledge that if the state decided to become a terror state shooting at commercial shipping, that would be an ongoing and contested part of the battle, to include their willingness to mine international water. So one side weaponized the strait, and we've been fighting back the entire time.
Completely aware that the Strait of Hormuz could be closed, and obviously sinking their ships has not affected their ability to effectively close the straits.
We had U.S. boats that surrendered to Iranian ships under the Biden administration. So their Navy was effective in expeditionary ways in the past.
We're talking about a war you started, not a situation in which oil was flowing freely. There was no conflict. We weren't losing personnel as a result of Iranian actions. So your fallback to the Biden administration is just a very, very obvious excuse for what I think is probably, as you described so often, gross negligence. You did not fully inform the president that you would be in a situation where the Strait of Hormuz could be effectively closed, oil prices could surge, and effectively the Iranians could maintain their ability to strike back as they are right now. They just killed some of our servicemen last weekend.
This battlefield and all the dynamics of it, of which the chairman and I are responsible for ensuring the president understands every branch and sequel of what could happen, and we did. So the fact that those contingencies all were part of the possibility, and we understood that, is all the more reason why President Trump deserves the kind of praise he should get for undertaking this effort, having the courage to ensure that crazy Islamists can't have a nuclear weapon to hold us at issue. And he's been willing to stay committed to that regardless of the challenges.
Excuse me. So he should be praised. He should be praised for starting a war without authority, creating a situation in which the world economy is suffering tremendously. We have to have extra money for our farmers. And we have no outcome, at least no realistic outcome in sight yet. Let me switch to General Kane. General Kane, these airstrikes have not yet deterred and defeated the Iranians. Do you think airstrikes alone will do that?
So I think academically, as you look across the totality of history, air power's got limits, and we always have to be mindful of those. I think where America's area of exclusivity is when we bring the totality of the diplomatic, informational, economic, and pair that with the military, and there's a lot of that work going on.
Well, the military, the next step would be escalation by ground combat. Do you anticipate that escalation?
Sir, I think it'd be unhelpful for me to opine on hypotheticals. What I can tell you is we always develop an unbelievable amount of options and the associated risks, and then my main job is to always ensure that leaders understand those options and the risks.
Now, if you employ ground troops to seize objectives, which I would assume would be the first stage, are you prepared for an extended guerrilla war, which would likely happen in that area?
Sir, with all due respect, I think it'd be unhelpful for me to opine on hypothetical situations, on whatever decisions the president may or may not take in the future.
Have you advised the president that a ground combat would be very expensive in the lives of our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and also could probably lead to an extended unconventional war in that area? I don't see the Iranians sort of throwing their hands up saying, you know, welcome to Iran.
Senator, I always advise the president on a range of
I'm just going to be honest. When Kamala was on her campaign trail, she said Iran was the biggest threat. We got to remember that. I don't know if some of y'all forgot Hannibal or whoever else there was, man. Y'all must have forgot. Kamala said that Iran was the biggest threat to America. She didn't hesitate. She said it straight out.
Military options and all of the risks that are contained within that, but I have to keep my military advice to the president private, sir.
But Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Hoeven.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Rollins, I want to thank President Trump, and I want to thank you for including farm bridge assistance in this supplemental request. I know I've worked very hard to get it included. I know you have worked very hard to get it included, and I want to thank you and your whole department for your work on it and for this vital support of our farmers and ranchers. What I want to ask you about, though, is actually crop insurance. The number one risk management tool that our farmers have is crop.
Kamala wouldn't have had a choice but to go to war with them. That's what I'm telling y'all. When she says Iran is the biggest threat, we got to go back to what Marco Rubio said. Netanyahu, who was going to make his move with or without the United States. Netanyahu actually said it too. Whether we was going to join in on the attack or not, they were going to attack. So the threat, the retaliation was imminent. They knew once Israel attacked with or without us, Iran was going to hit our bases back. So Kamala would have kind of been in the same situation if Netanyahu, pulled the move.
Crop insurance. And the buy-up option is critically important. It covers 67 million acres, 67 million.
So you think Kamala would have told Netanyahu to strike on his own? What would it have been then? If Netanyahu was going to go with this move 2 days before the blood moon like he did, what was Kamala just going to sit on her hands? If Netanyahu would have went with this move without America, we still would have been attacked. Now, once our bases are attacked, we have to do something. You think Kamala is just going to let our bases get hit in retaliation and not do shit? I just don't have that opinion.
Acres of farmland in this country, it was decommissioned, and we need to get it reinstated. Again, you and I both worked very hard on this. Please update me on where we are in terms of getting that buy-up option for crop insurance reinstated.
We are 100% supportive of that and are moving forward to execute that buy-up option. Thank you for your leadership on that, Senator.
Thank you for your
support. No, I'm not going to make the chat members only, but I'm for sure finna make it subscribers only.
Support. Also, Assistant Secretary Fortas for his support. It's very impactful, very important, and will make a big difference for our farmers right now. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Secretary Hegseth, are Russia and China helping Iran? And if so, how?
Well, Senator, as the chairman alluded to, there's definitely adversary alignment, attempts to do so, and there are many ways that we deter that, some of which are, and the depth and extent of it ought to remain classified, and it should, but there are ways in which both of those countries are limiting at different levels, enabling some of the things Iran is doing. Yes.
General Kane, would you like to add?
Sir, I'd rather not opine on the specifics because that would divulge what we know, and I never want the adversary to know what I know. I just want to know it.
And hopefully we'll get a chance to do that in the SCIF.
Yes, sir. Happy to do that in the SCIF, sir.
This relates both to the funding, but also, again, to how we achieve our objectives with Iran. Starting with you, Secretary, can we get to the point, and we're seeing continued, I think, improvement and progress on this, but essentially where we can work, and hopefully our allies they need to step in there with us, but where we get to the point where we can operate in the Strait of Hormuz, but keep Iran blockaded. We're continuing to get better at that, but that's how we they'll never do anything that they say they're going to do. They've proven that over and over. We have to keep the pressure on. But if we can do that effectively, we keep the pressure on and achieve our objectives. Tell us where we are in getting that accomplished.
Senator, I think that's a really good point. That's effectively what we did to create the pressure that led to the circumstances of the MOU, which was we're running a route where ships, and we did it covertly, in cooperation with Gulf countries and others who were willing to take some of the risk with our protection and then maintain the blockade. So effectively, oil's coming in and out, oil prices are coming down, but our blockade is staying and the pressure is mounting on Iran. That's something we have done and can continue to do. We moved into an MOU where Iran said we won't shoot at shipping, And then the IRGC turned around and decided to start shooting at commercial shipping again, at which point the president, I mean, as he should, cannot tolerate that. And so we respond, as he said 10 times, you shoot at ships, we're going to shoot at you overwhelmingly, which we have been doing now for, I believe it's a 10th consecutive evening. So consequences come with the willingness to shoot at commercial shipping. Our blockade has been reimposed and is effectively impenetrable. We got seized a ship inside the Arabian Gulf as well. So there's a lot of different angles to it, a lot of levers we can pull, and ultimately a lot of the strikes that Admiral Cooper and CENTCOM have been undertaking are taking Iran's ability to see and sense away in the Strait of Hormuz.
Hey, chat, everyone double tap the screen for me. Hit the like button on your way in. We love to have you inside of the chat. You just have to subscribe. You don't got to wait any time. I didn't put no timer. Just subscribe, and you can jump in on the chat.
Which has tactical benefits for us.
And that's what this funding is about. This funding is about making sure that we and our allies can operate in the Strait of Hormuz, which helps bring down energy prices for every single American consumer, and that we force Iran to meet our objectives. Isn't that what this package is all about?
Here we go.
This is a peace through strength package. Right. That's what 1.5 trillion has always been about, a generational investment at as the chairman alluded to, a step change moment. We need to be able to do it at speed, at scale, with autonomy, with AI, with exquisite high cost and low cost, to be ahead and stay ahead so that you're not just able to do what we need to do in the Strait of Hormuz, but deter adversaries like Russia and China from getting involved in future contingencies.
And just General Kane, for any follow-up that you would like on that issue.
Sir, I wouldn't have anything to add.
Okay. Again, thank you, and thank you to all of our men and women in uniform. We appreciate them so much.
Senator Shaheen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary HEGSETH, since you last testified before this committee, we finally received the spend plan for the $400 million FY26 appropriation for Ukraine security assistance. This funding was passed back in January, and now there are only 3 months left in this fiscal year. And while I appreciate that we now see what most of the funding is intended for, I just heard from the CEO of one of the manufacturers of the defense articles that are contained in the spend plan that they not only haven't received funding, but they haven't even seen a contract. So when are we going to see a contract for those defense articles that are contained in the spend plan for Iraq? Or I'm sorry, for Ukraine.
For Ukraine. Senator, I'll have to get back to you on the specifics of the timeline of that. I'll talk to our policy shop as well as the EUCOM commander to determine where that's at.
Well, you've told this committee that you've barely spent half of the $150 billion in reconciliation funding. And if you still have $75 billion available, why are you asking the American people to absorb the cost of a war they don't support, instead of asking for transfer authority for unspent reconciliation funding, especially if you can't even get $400 million in Ukraine funding out the door?
As I mentioned earlier, Senator, that money from the One Big Beautiful Bill is otherwise allocated to the rebuilding of our military with priorities of the president like Golden Dome for America and hypersonics and other munitions investments that we made up front as we tried to adjust the Biden budget into an America First budget. And so reallocating that away from those priorities is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Those are allocated to rebuild.
But my point is,
and ultimately we're committed
if you can't spend it on a timeline that makes sense, why do you need to come back and ask for more money? Wouldn't it be better to spend money that you already have? And one of the things I noted was, or at least I think that this supplemental doesn't include funding to repair damage to our bases or to our military infrastructure in the region. And I have not heard that we've gotten the full extent of any of those damage estimates. So should we expect another request to address that military construction costs? And at what point do you stop asking Americans to foot the bill for a war they don't support on top of an inflated budget request and billions in reconciliation funds that you still haven't spent?
Well, Senator, I obviously don't agree with your characterization of that.
I appreciate that, but you didn't ask. But I want you to answer my question. I know you don't agree with my characterization. I don't agree with yours either.
Well, one of the reasons I take issue with that characterization is something that Senator Durbin said when he talked about Ukraine and he talked about winning. And I appreciate as much as anybody winning a war. But I sit in front of a committee that wants to talk about winning a war that's been going on for 4 years and talks about strategic defeat of a conflict that's been going on for 4 months to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb. I would hope for some perspective in this town of the historic nature of what President Trump is undertaking. Do you want radical Islamists to have a nuclear bomb that can stare down the world?
Because I have limited time.
I don't understand.
If you can't answer my question, then I will move on to my next question. Secretary Rollins, the timber industry has also been hard hit, as you know, by trade wars, by drought, by wildfires, by other natural disasters that are increasingly common.
Man, y'all, they said they wasn't buying no more lumber from Canada. It was over with. When we getting all the lumber from Canada, they cut that shit out, then fires got the just blazing everywhere. Crazy as a motherfucker.
In New Hampshire, which is the second most heavily forested state in the nation, one of the things that we really need, as you know, because we've had this conversation, is a research program and Forest Service staffing on the ground in a variety of ways, but particularly at Bartlett Experimental Forest. These small investments in research and staffing and sound management help make the forest economies healthier and more competitive. I very much appreciate your having staff visit Bartlett last week with my staff and with staff from the governor's office. But can you commit to restoring staffing at Bartlett and to keeping the facilities there open now that you've seen the critical nature of that research?
Why don't I follow up with you? I have not gotten a report from their visit, so I would like to do that first. But obviously, you and I have been in a continuing conversation about that.
What's up, Libertarian? Welcome in, Libertarian. Gito, I did see that they said Saudi Arabia could get a nuclear power plant with some level of civilian enrichment, or however that goes. I guess let them enrich or to a certain level.
The good news, there's no doubt our timber industry is in distress and has been for a long time. The fact that we import 90% or something from other countries of our lumber needs is crazy. We're changing that. But the good news, we had more board feet sold last year than any time in 30 years. This year, we're going to exceed that target again. So we're making the right moves on this, but there's no doubt that research is important to that, as we've discussed. And I'll follow up with our team, and then we'll reconnect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As you pointed out, research is critical to ensuring that the timber economy continues to be successful. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, the founding fathers probably turning in their grave. I ain't gonna lie. The founding fathers probably turning in their damn grave right now.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you all for being here today. General, in the war between Russia and Ukraine, who do we want to win?
Sir, I want Ukraine to win.
Is Russia America's friend?
I'm sorry, aware of those reports, and I'll have to go back and get back to you on that.
If you could, I'd appreciate that. You are aware that infrastructure that civilians rely on to survive is not generally considered legitimate military targets?
Sir, as you know, we have a robust process which considers a target that goes through a system that looks at a variety of considerations to include what you're alluding to around both purely civilian or dual-use targets. Great. I have trust and confidence in CENTCOM.
Yeah, Karen, I heard of it. Excuse me. I heard about those wildfires. I got a friend in Michigan, and they were telling me about the wildfires and how they could look out and see the smoke and shit.
That they're looking at the range of those things on a daily basis.
It sounds like you are assuring us that we will, the United States, not target, even in retaliatory sense, infrastructure that is generally considered to be primarily for civilian survival.
So, as I mentioned, we have a robust process, and we have the most professional military force.
It'd just be nice to have you say yes, because this is international law.
Yes,
if you understand the international law.
I do, sir. I've got a lot of lawyers that help me understand.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And will you get back to us on that question of whether we targeted the desalination plants, and if so, why? My time's up, but I do want to express encouragement to look at what the negotiators have put forward or advisors as to whether a 10-day break could facilitate returning to dialogue that might find a path forward.
Senator Hyde-Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and I want to thank all three of you for being here today. I am going to direct my first question to Secretary Rollins, and again, I want to commend you publicly for the outstanding job you're doing at USDA. You know, this is my world. As former Ag Commissioner, I hear from a lot of
What the fuck is USDA doing? I thought they rolled back the protections on the beef and shit. What the fuck is USDA doing to be commended about? What the hell is going on?
of producers in Mississippi, and they are so pleased with your performance, and that is just truly genuine right there. But I'm pleased to see the administration's supplemental request as for ag producers, because before I comment on that, I just want the entire committee and administration to take note of the tremendous timber losses as well in places like Mississippi due to winter storms and the tornadoes we've had there. It is significant, and I certainly look forward to working with you with the concerns of the timber sector. Regarding this supplemental, you know, our row crop producers, as you've mentioned in your opening remarks, they are truly in a serious situation. I've talked to multi-generation farmers back home who are the best of the best that did not even plant this
year. Hey, Gito, you know what I thought about when you said Iran is currently winning without nukes and they have planned to keep fighting even if nukes. Everybody got a plan till you get punched in the fucking mouth. Listen, Trump let off one of them motherfuckers over there, man. It ain't gonna be too much more fighting, Gito. It ain't gonna be too much more fighting. The world is gonna stop, damn near. The world is gonna stop for a little second, man. One of them motherfuckers go off over there. Lunatic Libertarian comes in supporting the channel via Super Chat and says, all centralized systems are failed. Thank you for the support, Lunatic Libertarian.
Year because they could not make the numbers work. And producers in Mississippi and nationwide, you know, we continue to face these economic conditions. They're not going away anytime immediately or soon, but we've seen the commodity prices drop and the input costs just go through the roof. If we want the next generation to stay on the land, Congress, we're going to have to take this opportunity to provide this critical market assistance for our farmers and enact policies that build structural demands for commodities like the Buy American Cotton Act, that year-round E15, all of which would make the paths better, more favorable for these producers going forward. But I appreciate the administration's effort to this date, including the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program that was so valuable, implementation of the updated Farm Safety Net with Working Families Tax Cut Act, and now the supplemental request before Congress. But will you speak to why it's critical for Congress to act swiftly to pass this supplemental and the need for us to pass legislation?
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about fighting if they got nuked. Man, they said that thing that Trump tested off the coast of California was the size of 20 Hiroshimas. Motherfuckers get the evaporating and melting into the damn ground and shit. People gonna be real little. It's gonna be a lot of bunker activity going on, man. Motherfuckers ain't gonna be trying to come to that surface, man. That shit gonna look like the 100. That shit's gonna look like, y'all remember the TV show The 100? That's what it's gonna be like. Motherfuckers gonna be gone for a little minute. They gonna have to vacate. Man, Trump, they tested that nuclear warhead, man, and they said it was the size of 20 Hiroshimas. This shit was like 2 months ago they tested that bitch.
That drives the demand for farmers' products.
Yes, thank you, Senator, for your kind words. A couple of really important points. Number one, as we work to open the markets around the world, and we're seeing, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, just extraordinary numbers. That $50 billion agricultural deficit we inherited a year and a half ago is now down into the 20-ish billion. We expect it to go down significantly this year. Again, the highest price we've seen in over a year in corn is today, and soybeans is today, et cetera. Your point, Senator, about opening up the domestic markets is
that threaten our ability to pay our service members and sustain global operations without disruption. You've been asked repeatedly, there's $75 billion appropriated but unobligated. Can we really not avoid critical short-term shortfalls? What does that mean about the budget management within the department in terms of unexpected and unbudgeted wars? First, Operation Southern Spear, and then Operation Epic Fury.
I would just note, I was sort of updated, 95% of that One Big Beautiful Bill funding will be allocated by the end of September in accordance with congressional intent. So these are things we said we would spend. And
Libertarian comes through supporting this channel via Super Chat, says the House passed the National Defense Bill. They are all traitors to the principles of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. We are now solvent. Done. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, we seen that go through, man. I said that the founder fathers are rolling over in their graves, man. They rolling over in their graves right now.
we told you we would spend them on, and we plan to spend them on those things by the end of September. So this is a new request based on new realities of a world we face, stepping up to meet that moment.
And forgive me, Mr. Secretary, but that's news to me, that $75 billion will be out the door, allocated and spent by September. And I was simply questioning how we have ships running out of fuel in the open seas and planes being grounded and
I didn't say ships were running out of fuel in open seas or planes were grounded. I'm saying we have to make trade-offs.
Maintenance accounts are running
everything
out
our
of
troops
money.
need on the battlefield, they're getting in spades and beyond. It's ultimately looking into the future. Can we invest above and beyond that the types of munitions fast enough as we upgrade and modernize our force? That's what's at issue here in this $1.5 trillion, this supplemental and any other additional funding that comes.
Two quite different things, a $1.5 trillion base budget request and a now $76 billion supplemental. And I was simply going to point to Department of Homeland Security is sitting on nearly $100 billion in unobligated funds. You haven't requested reimbursement for the millions of, frankly, billions of dollars the department has spent on law enforcement. Second,
we requested reimbursement and are getting a substantial reimbursement from DHS.
That's good news, and that's news to me. And frankly, as we reflect on the service and sacrifice of those who put their lives on the line of this war, one of the things I've raised over and over and over is the ways in which this administration has dragged its feet on partnering with Ukraine in order to deploy the best-in-class sensors, detectors, and counter-drone systems to protect everything from Dover Air Force Base to our bases in the region, to our troops, to our partners. I want to see you focus.
I think what I'm gonna do, Chad, is that I'm gonna build me another setup in my other room over there. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Where I have this setup and then I have another setup. I think that's what
on accelerating the defense of our troops and our nation, focus on accelerating the defense of our troops and this region, and a strategy that has a real chance at succeeding at the goals that we agree on. Because the strategy followed, I think, has no credible likelihood of success.
Senator.
You said build another channel as a backup. You ain't following the backups yet. I got like 7 of them, man. I got the different channels and shit, man. We got Debate Nation. We got Plug Station Clips. We got Plug for President. Where the fuck have you been, Lau?
Brett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate all of you being here today. So since the beginning of the Putin's aggression into Ukraine, this body has passed 5 supplemental bills.
Yeah, no-knock warrants are kind of crazy, lunatic libertarian. But yeah, Loud, all the other channels have different content on them too. Like I don't just clip up my live streams and post them to the other channels. Like no, they're their own separate autonomous channels. They have their own videos, their own, everything's its own on those channels.
Funding different portions of that war. You mentioned in your opening, Mr. Secretary, about not getting those munitions that had come through this body quick enough to Ukraine and also being able to replenish those here at home. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I remember the previous administration dragging its feet after this.
Yeah, matter of fact, chat, I need y'all to follow Debate Nation. We need like 120 subscribers to hit 1,000. We need like 120 subscribers on Debate Nation to hit 1,000. I'm gonna have to drop the channel link on the community tab or something.
This body gave them directive as to what to do. So can you shed a little bit more light as to what you were talking about in your opening?
Well, thank you for that question. Sometimes we forget recent history, which under the Biden administration, there were 5 supplemental requests for Ukraine.
Thanks,
which
Captain
almost
America.
every member of this body voted for to send rapidly in a bipartisan fashion for something that this committee and the administration deemed to be urgent. President Trump may take a different view, but that was the view of the Biden administration.
And real quick, wouldn't you say it would be urgent to make sure that our men and women in uniform right now have everything that they need?
I would argue providing for American men and women as opposed to Ukrainian men and women is a higher priority for the United States Senate. So 5 supplementals that went to Ukraine, as good as that cause may be, why is that righteous to do? But funding troops in harm's way right now, given the threat and what they're undertaking, this is a partisan exercise.
And so
it's hypocrisy. And I appreciate you pointing it out.
Real quick, Madam Secretary, question.
Puzzles, what it do?
Russia-Ukraine war.
Puzzles, what it do? We went over that autopsy earlier, Puzzles. You missed it. You might have to slide through and check out the earlier part of the live, man. Welcome in, Puzzles. Good to see you.
Started, we saw obviously cost go up around the world. In particular, in that region, we know that the supplying of fertilizer, was tremendous. We also know Ukraine was top 5 when it came to wheat and corn and other things that we utilize, across the globe. It's my recollection that fertilizer went up about 55%. Obviously, if we were able to create stability there in the region and have peace,
55%.
it would follow that then prices would likely go down over time within the agriculture world as well. Is that fair?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and when we're looking at the Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, I don't think they understand this shit, man. The fuck prices going down over time. We need them shits down yesterday, nigga. Yesterday. The fuck are we talking about prices going down over time, man? Need this shit down yesterday.
War and trying to end Putin's aggression, trying to bring peace. General Kane, if we were to cut off the funding that Russia was getting.
I don't know, bro. AOC seems like she'll be real attachy. You know what I'm saying? AOC seems like she wouldn't even let you go sit on the pot, bro. Like she'd be at the door like, I want to smell your poop. I don't know. Crazy.
Would it follow that that would be a driver that could possibly lead Putin to the table?
Sarah, yes, and their economy's struggling now.
Thank you. And we also know, I saw reports this weekend that it is said that possibly Russia and China, which I know you can't comment on right now, but are actually helping Iran, whether it is targeting our troops, funding, and other mechanisms. So a thing that we could all agree that ending that would be helpful. I want to just echo Senator Kennedy's comments that I think the sooner we can get this bill on the floor and passed, it would be.
Now, I know that's not AOC, but somebody in the chat, I ain't gonna put their name out there. Somebody in the chat said AOC could get it. That's why I made that comment.
Huge with regards to Russian sanctions. Also want to just talk briefly about the dysfunction of this body. So my question is for you, Mr. Secretary, and you, General Kane. I would have to think that our adversaries, and I believe that we need to fully fund our military, making sure that our warfighter is the best ready, trained, and equipped across the planet. I think we have an obligation and a duty to not only meet the needs of the moment,
including the over 100.
All right, man, let's get them the fuck up out of here, man. What else do we got to cover tonight, Chad? And I had a funny debate. 607 debated 10 Christians. We can save that for another day. Oh yeah, they gave El Mayo life. We can cover this El Mayo getting life before we get out of here. They gave El Mayo a L, chat, a big L, man. I think they want him to pay like $15 million.
It really shows the true live now from the almost unimaginable amount of drugs attributable to him and the number of murders that we can document is enough to justify Congress's decision to make this a mandatory life sentence. Zambada agreed to a plea deal in August 2025 to charges including racketeering, conspiracy, continuing criminal enterprise after the Justice Department said it would not seek the death penalty. The charge...
Hey, they finna ship his ass to Colorado, man. What's that Fed prison in Colorado, man, where all the Supermax, man? His ass finna go there.
Just carried a mandatory term of life imprisonment. So let's take you out to the DOJ talking about the sentencing that came down today.
What up, Top Cat?
I'm Joseph Nocella, the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. And with me today, our Assistant Attorney General, Tyson Duva of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, Terry Cole, Administrator of the Drug Enforcement Administration, Matthew Milholland from Homeland Security's investigations, life sentence following Al Chapo's conviction here in Brooklyn. Life sentence in serving a life sentence following Al Chapo's conviction here in Brooklyn in 2019. Over 3 decades, El Mayo and El Chapo built the Sinaloa cartel into the largest drug trafficking organization that the world has ever seen. This criminal empire flooded the United States and the world with deadly drugs, earned billions of dollars in profits, and then laundered those billions through the financial system. El Mayo and El Chapo corrupted...
Hey, what's crazy is El Mayo nephew turned him in, bro. Like, El Mayo thought he was going somewhere else, man, I guess to look at a plane and shit, and his nephew had him fly over the border to turn himself in, bro. I mean, to turn his uncle in, bro. That's crazy, bro. His nephew set him up.
Numerous officials in Mexico to protect their criminal empire. And when corruption did not work, they used horrific violence, including torture, kidnapping, and murder. After El Chapo's conviction here in the Eastern District of New York, El Mayo took over exclusive control of the Sinaloa cartel. El Mayo then expanded the drug cartel's dealing to include fentanyl and other drugs, making the cartel deadlier and more profitable than ever. El Mayo continued as the cartel's leader until he was arrested in 2024. A life sentence, cut off from family, cut off from freedom, cut off from the outside world, is fitting punishment for the harm that El Mayo has caused to countless victims. During El Mayo's control of the cartel, tens of...
Hey, No Way said, why is this dipshit showing up on my feed? Don't worry, I won't show up no more, pussy. Don't worry, I won't show up no more.
Thousands of parents lost children to addiction, overdose, and drug-related violence.
I miss you too, Puzzles.
I hope that El Mayo's life sentence brings some small measure of comfort to those families who have suffered so much pain. The message today is clear. Drug dealing is a dead end, not just figuratively, but literally. Drug kingpins die in prison.
All right, man, that's enough of that, man. All right, chat, we finna get ready to get up out of here, man. I know we didn't go live long today. We only been on a couple hours, but look, man, we finna get up out of here, man. It's a lot that could be talked about, but shit, man. I'm about to eat, and look around for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to eat and look around for a minute. But we will be back tomorrow. Shit, I need to start streaming on the other channel too. We're gonna start streaming on the Plug Station Clips channel too. So make sure y'all are subscribed to Plug Station Clips. We're gonna do StreamYard panels over there like we used to do. We're gonna do the StreamYard panels on Plug Station Clips. All right, chat, man. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Thank you for everybody who supported the stream. Let me shout out everybody that supported the stream through the fan funding. And thank you for everybody who hit the like button, dropped a comment, or just came through and hollered at me. Thank you, L, for the gifting the 10 memberships and grabbing a membership. Thank you, Karen and Young Merv, for the donations. Thank you, Lunatic Libertarian, as well. And thank you, everybody who dropped jewels. I know a lot of y'all dropped jewels, but I can only see Shirley's. I can only see Shirley's jewels right now. Somebody just sent another super chat, but I can't even see who the hell that is. Hold on. Where did the chat go? Open panel. Hold on. Somebody just sent a $20 super chat with the 100. Thank you. Let me get to the chat. I can't even see the name. Why it won't show me the name? It's somebody that's a member and everything. That's crazy. Chat, Maz, let me know who dropped that super chat because it won't show me who did it, man. Oh, that's L. L, you did a super chat. Thank you, L, if that's you. I can't see it. Thank you, L, for the super chat, man. Thank you, L, for the super chat. Yeah, chat, we'll be back tomorrow. Do y'all want to do 9 p.m. or 10 p.m.? What's better for y'all? I know we normally come on at 10. I can come on at 9 if y'all want to, for sure. What's better for y'all, 9 or 10? Thank you, L, again. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Shirley. Shirley says, keep it rocking, plug. Great show tonight. Y'all want 9 or 10? If I show up at 9, y'all gonna have to be here. If I show up at 9, y'all gonna have to be here. Good night, Michael. Thank you for coming. Top Cat say it's all working. Nah, for sure. All right, chat. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. So set the reminders. Y'all know that we don't get notifications and shit. So set the reminders. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time. 9 p.m. Central Time. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, chat.